Hello, in this unit we're going to have a look at future forms and look a little deeper into what the other differences between will and going to are. As always, to get you thinking about future forms, let's have a look at some sentences and compare them. I'd like you to think about each set of sentences and ask yourself, what are the differences between the sentences? Please pause the video for as long as you need so you can think about all of them carefully. The first set of sentences look at the differences between all the future forms. Using will suggests an unplanned decision. You're making the decision now. I will go to the cinema tonight. Going to suggests a planned decision. You made the decision in the past, let's say last night, and someone asks you now what your plans are. So you would say, I'm going to the cinema tonight. The third way of talking about the future is to use a simple or continuous form with a timestamp. That timestamp must refer to the future. In this case, it's tonight. The timestamp might be in 5 minutes or next year or this Saturday. This also suggests a planned activity. So to quickly recap, will is unplanned, going to and simple and continuous forms plus timestamp refer to a planned future. The second set of sentences look at the differences between will and going to as regards the second or third person. If you say someone is going to do something, you're referring to their planned future. In practice, even if they make an unplanned decision, to you it becomes a planned decision. All of somebody else's future decisions are going to as far as you're concerned. If you say you will, you are giving an order. You will do something. In some circumstances, this may be appropriate where a subordinate relationship is already established, for example, parent to child or boss to employee. But not if you're addressing a client through email. For example, you can't say you will meet the partner tomorrow at 3 p.m. The third set of sentences looks at the differences between not going to and will not as negatives. The difference is quite simple to explain. Will not is a refusal. I will not do something. In this case, he won't stresses his refusal to come to work. Not going to refers to intention. He intends not to come to work, but this plan could change. He may come into work if something changes. I am aware that this subtle difference in meaning may not be obviously stated in Polish, but as far as the reader is concerned, it is very obvious, and if a reader reads, someone will not do something, that is a very strong message. The last set of sentences stresses the differences between will and going to in relation to time. Going to suggests something is going to happen imminently, in other words, in a few seconds. Will suggests the mid to long-term future. In this case, the lift will break down is said as something that might happen in a future point in time. It's going to break down means it'll happen now. Put yourself inside the lift. It's making horrible noises and shaking from side to side. Well, what would you say? Of course, you would say it's going to break down. Now we've highlighted those 4 issues, I'd also ask you not to forget about the simple, continuous, perfect and perfect continuous in the future. All of these forms have reasons for their use. So please don't forget about this, as this is something that you'll commonly encounter and meet in the questions below. An example could be thinking about will as unplanned future and will plus infinitive to stress future simple. I will go on holiday to Portugal next year could be a decision made on the spot, in other words, unplanned future, or it could be a statement of future fact, which is one of the reasons to use the simple. Also remember that the simple is used to state a sequence of events. This will happen, then this will happen, and then this will happen, and so on. Okay, there's a lot to think about there. If you want to, watch the video again. But if you're happy with everything, please try the questions below.